Hi everyone, in this video, we will talk about 3 special UK coins. Some people say these coins can be worth a lot of money, even thousands of dollars. We will learn about their history, what they look like, and why some are very rare. If you like old coins or want to know which ones are valuable, this video is just right for you. Let's get started. First up, we have the 1969 50 new pence coin from the United Kingdom. Many people say this coin is worth big money, and some even claim it can be worth as much as $10,000. That's right, you might have seen online listings or videos showing this coin selling for thousands. But is that really true? Let's take a close look at this coin, its history, how it was made, and what its real value is today. The 1969 50 new pence coin was one of the very first coins made for Britain's new decimal currency system. Decimalisation officially began in 1971 when the UK changed from the old money system of shillings and pence to the simpler pounds and pence system. However, the 50p coin was released in 1969, 2 years before the full changeover, to help the public get used to the new money. It replaced the old 10-shilling note, which was withdrawn soon after the coin entered circulation. Because it was a completely new shape and value, it stood out among all the other coins in use at the time. The 1969 50p coin has a very distinctive shape. It is a 7-sided coin, known as an equilateral curve heptagon. This shape was chosen so the coin could easily be recognized by touch and could roll smoothly in coin machines. It is silver in color and made from a mixture of copper and nickel, which makes it durable and long-lasting. The coin was quite large compared to modern 50p coins. The early version was heavier and wider, and it stayed that way until the smaller version was introduced in 1997. On the front side of the coin, known as the obverse, there is the first decimal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was designed by Arnold Mackin and shows the Queen wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara. On the back side, or reverse, the design shows Britannia, the symbol of the United Kingdom, sitting down holding a trident and a shield, with a lion beside her. The design was created by Christopher Ironside and was used on the 50p coin for nearly 3 decades. Now let's look at how many were made. In 1969, around 188,372,000 of these coins were produced, almost 190 million. That is a very large number, which means the 1969 50p is not rare at all. It was made to be used widely, and millions were in everyday circulation. Because of this, most of these coins are still quite common today. If your coin has been used and shows the usual marks and scratches from circulation, it is generally worth about £1 to £2, which is around $1.20 to $2.50 in American money. If your coin is in mint condition, meaning it is shiny, clean, and looks brand new, it might be worth about £3 to £4, or just under $5. These are the typical values listed in coin collector guides, based on real sales and not online rumors. But if that's true, why do we sometimes see prices claiming the 1969 50p is worth thousands? Recently, an online listing appeared showing a 1969 50p coin priced at an incredible £8,642. That's over $10,000. It's easy to see how people might think the coin is extremely rare after seeing a number like that. However, that price was only an asking price, not a real sale. This means that someone listed their coin for that amount on a selling site such as eBay, but there is no evidence that anyone actually bought it for that price. In other words, it was just a seller's wishful thinking, not the coin's true market value. There are a few special situations where a coin like this might be worth more than normal. One is if the coin has a minting error. This happens when a mistake occurs during production. For example, the design might be struck twice, part of the image could be missing, or the coin could be slightly off-center. Genuine minting errors are rare and can attract collector interest. However, most of the coins that people claim are errors often just have damage from use, not real factory mistakes. Another version that can sell for more is the proof coin. In 1969, some 50p coins were made as proofs for collectors. These coins have sharp, detailed designs and a shiny, mirror-like finish. A genuine proof coin in perfect condition, especially if it's still in its original packaging, can sell for around £10 to £20, and sometimes a little higher if it's graded by a professional coin service. So what is the real value of the 1969 50 new pence coin? For most people, it's between £1 and £3, a small amount above its original face value. Proof versions can be worth around £10 to £20, and genuine minting errors might fetch a little more depending on rarity and condition. The £8,642 price you might see online is not a record sale or a verified value. It's simply an unrealistic listing made by a seller. If you find a 1969 50p coin in your change or in an old coin collection, it's a nice piece of British history but not a hidden fortune. Despite the occasional high asking price seen online, no record exists of any 1969 50p selling for thousands of pounds. In almost all cases, it's just an interesting early decimal coin worth a few pounds at most. Next up, we have the 1968 10 new pence coin from the United Kingdom. This coin is often talked about in the coin world. Some people say it can be worth as much as $7,000. That is a lot of money for just one coin. But is this true? Let's take a look at the facts, the design, how many were made, and why people think it's so rare. This 10p coin was part of Britain's decimal coin system, which started in 1971. But the 10p coin was actually released early, in 1968, to help people get used to the new coins before decimal day. It replaced the old 2-shilling coin, and both coins were the same size. The design of the 1968 10p is simple but classic. On the front side of the coin is Queen Elizabeth II. This is the second portrait of the Queen, known as the Arnold Mackin portrait, which was used from 1968 to 1984. On the back side, you'll see a lion passant guardant. That means a lion walking with one paw raised and looking forward. This is a royal symbol and was designed by Christopher Ironside, the same man who designed many British decimal coins. The coin is made of copper-nickel, which is a mix of copper and nickel. It is silver in color and feels heavy compared to modern 10p coins. That's because in later years, the size of the 10p coin was reduced to make it smaller and lighter. Now let's talk about how many were made. In 1968, the Royal Mint made over 336 million of these coins. That is a huge number. Because of this, the 1968 10p coin is not rare, at least not in normal condition. If your coin is used and has some marks or scratches, it is usually worth just face value, which is 10p in the UK, or about 12 cents in the US. If your coin is in uncirculated or mint condition, meaning it looks brand new and has never been used, it might be worth around £1 to £3, or about $1.50 to $4. So why do some people say the 1968 10p coin is worth $7,000? Some sellers on websites like eBay or collector shops list the coin for very high prices. One listing I saw showed the coin at over £500, which is about $600 to $700. But remember, this is just an asking price. That doesn't mean someone actually paid that much. There are a few reasons someone might believe their coin is special. One reason is errors. If a coin was made with a mistake at the mint, it could be worth more. This could be things like missing letters, a double image, or an off-center strike. But for the 1968 10p coin, there are no well-known errors that have sold for thousands. Another reason could be a proof coin. These are special coins made for collectors. They are made with extra care and shine. A proof 1968 10p in perfect condition might be worth more, but still not close to $7,000. Also, some people might list the coin as rare to get attention, even if it's not. So it's important to be careful. Just because someone lists a coin for a high price does not mean that is what it's worth. So if you have a 1968 10p coin, check its condition. If it looks normal and has no error, it is probably worth less than £3. If it looks unusual, very shiny, or has something strange about it, you can ask a coin expert to look at it. That's everything for the 1968 10 new pence coin. Stay tuned, one more coin to go. Last up, we have the 1970 UK British 5 new pence coin. This coin is sometimes said to be worth as much as $6,000. That sounds amazing, right? But is it really worth that much? Let's look at the history, the design, and the real value of this coin. The 5 new pence coin was first introduced in 1968. It replaced the old shilling coin. In fact, the size and weight were exactly the same as the shilling, so both coins could be used side by side for a few years. The 1975p coin is a little different. It was not made for shops or normal use. It was only made for collector sets, which are called proof sets. These were special coin sets made for people who collect coins. So, you would never get a 1975p in your change. That makes it more interesting for collectors. The front side of the coin shows Queen Elizabeth II, with the second portrait of her used at that time. The back side has a crown thistle, which is the national flower of Scotland. This design was made by Christopher Ironside, who also designed other British decimal coins. Now let's talk about the numbers. In 1970, only around 750,000 of these 5p coins were made. That's much less than coins made for circulation, but still not extremely rare. These coins were all placed into souvenir coin sets, never meant for use in shops or markets. Because of that, most 1975p coins you find today are in very good condition. They were kept in cases or packaging, so they didn't get scratched or damaged. A 1975p in proof condition usually sells for around £5 to £10 in the UK. That's about $6 to $12. Some may sell for more if they are graded by a coin expert. So why do some people say this coin is worth $6,000? There are a few reasons this could happen. One is that someone might list the coin for a very high price online, just to see if someone will buy it. For example, I saw a website listing the coin for $2,500, calling it a very rare 5 new pence large. But again, that was just a price tag, not a confirmed sale. Another possible reason is a minting error. If a 1975p was made with a mistake, like a double image, missing detail, or wrong metal, it could be worth much more. But there are no famous or well-known 1975p error coins that have sold for thousands. Also, people sometimes confuse the proof coin with a regular coin. Since the 1975p was not made for circulation, finding one might seem rare, but in truth, many were sold in sets, and they still exist today. The only time the value could really go up is if the coin is in perfect condition and is graded by a professional service. Even then, it might be worth £100 or a bit more, but not thousands. If you have a 1975p coin, check if it came from a coin set. Look at the condition. If it's shiny and looks brand new, it's probably a proof coin. If it looks strange or has an error, it's worth getting checked by a coin expert. So while it's fun to hope for a $6,000 coin, the regular 1975p is usually worth under £10. Still a nice coin to have in your collection. So, the 1969 50p, 1968 10p, and 1975p coins are nice coins to collect. Some people say they are worth $10,000, $7,000, or even $6,000. But most of the time, they are not. The normal coins are not rare. If your coin looks normal, it is usually worth £1 to £10. Only coins with mistakes, called errors, or coins made for collectors, called proof coins, can be worth more. If your coin looks strange, shiny, or has something missing, ask a coin expert to check it. It could be special. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell us what coins you have at home. Maybe we will talk about your coin in the next video. Keep your eyes open. Even small coins can sometimes be worth big money.